Over the last year, I literally ended up fasting a total of 78 days. So basically, plus minus, that means nearly 25% of the last 365 days I spent in a fasted state. Now, I know the title looks a bit clickbaity. I do not do 78 days in a row, but I wanted to make this video to show how easy it is to actually spend nearly a quarter of your year in fasting and why that could be a benefit for you. It's been really transformational for myself. I've always had this deep-seated thing within my heart that I was supposed to fast. I got really involved in the whole gym rat culture. I was pretty much knee-deep in that whole 200 grams of protein a day phase, which really stopped me. And I had a really strong image attached to the muscle, the ego behind that, and that stopped me from doing fasting for a long time. But there was this really deep message deep in my heart, deep in my soul, which kept pushing me towards it, and I'm really happy I did. So in essence, I guess I'll keep it as punchy as I can. If you're looking to get those numbers I did, the easiest way to do that is to just do a 36-hour fast once a week. That's what I did. And I did that for pretty much a year. Before I even go on to discuss fasting, the benefits I got, whatever, please always do your own research. Whilst there's so many beautiful benefits, and fasting is one of the most beautiful healing things you can do for yourself, each person's body is different, and it's worth doing your own research, listening to your own body. I'm just giving my own perspective. It's good to try your own things and figure out what works for you. So I'll just leave it there for now. If you are looking to do fasting, probably there would be something within you which is calling you to it if you're watching this video, and I suggest you to focus on that. From my perspective, I should probably link everything I've experienced, physical, emotional, and spiritual. And before I go on to those, what fasting's truly taught me is how linked all of those things are. Like when you experience a physical benefit from fasting, how that influences your emotional world, your spiritual world, your broader perception, your awareness. It's that powerful. So it's taught me how integrated everything is. Personally, for me, I felt so many of the benefits at a spiritual level, and that's been the most profound thing for me. So maybe I'll start there, then I'll move on to obviously the physical and how that links to the emotional. But to put things clearly, in my own experience, what I've come to learn is I genuinely believe that fasting is actually our natural state. It's a natural state of being. You look at presence, you look at awareness, you look at consciousness. Think about the time where you were the most present, where you truly had a heart-centered, aware moment where, you know, there's moments like where you kind of think to yourself, wow, that was one of the best moments of my life. You were so present. You were just in the moment. You were being. You weren't eating a hamburger and a milkshake and stuffing your face with pizza after. Or maybe you were. I don't know. That's what I said. I don't want to make generalizations here, but I put money on it. A lot of those moments you've had in life, which are filled with the richness of peace, love, and joy, a lot of the times you're not eating, you're not drinking, you're present, you're there. That's all fasting is. That's what this whole thing taught me. Fasting is truly just being in your natural state. The presence of love that you are, the presence of peace that you are. You're basically going back to baseline before you got programmed into thinking that eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner is normal, because that's 100% not normal. And I know that's a big thing for people to hear, and it sounds extreme to a lot of people, but it's taught me at a spiritual level how much your heart opens, how much your awareness truly expands. You basically, and I want to make this clear, it's been a very non-linear experience for me. It's been so non-linear in the sense that when you do fasting, and this is a lot of people who do these videos don't actually do this. They often just go straight into the benefits, and I am going to give you the beautiful benefits, but I want to also give the full picture. When you do fasting, It's going to bring up a lot of things. It's going to bring up a lot of purification. And that is ultimately how I see fasting at every layer I've mentioned. It brings up a lot of layers of purification. So when you aren't eating for a long period of time, you actually start seeing things to a larger degree how they are. You're sitting on the couch, you're bored. There's no going to the cupboard and eating a nice packet of Skittles. You have to sit with those feelings. Everything you've suppressed, and I'm not saying food is purely a suppression tool, but in a lot of cases, food is. When you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling anxious, alone, depressed, often people reach for food. And that's what it taught me. And whenever I was doing a fast and things came up for me, old feelings, old energies, old thought patterns, it brought that all up. That was very confronting. And whenever it happened, I find myself sprinting to the fridge, which shows how much of a spiritually and energetically and emotionally suppressive tool food can be. I'm not against food 100%. I think you should listen to your body, nourish your body in a way which feels right for you. So I don't want to demonize food either, but it basically, that expansion I was talking about of really just opening your heart, feeling energy like you have not felt, ultimately just feeling the natural energy of source, God, divine, whatever you want to talk about, the power of God which lives within your heart, however that makes sense to you, feeling that fasting allows you to access that in a very pure and accessible way, I guess. That's how I would describe it. So in my own experience, what I felt is I just feel that stream of the divine love of God running through me more clearly. And a theory I have on that is it almost feels like it clears up your energetic channels. And feeling the liveliness of who you are, truly feeling that. I mean, at your heart's level, at a deep level. I'm not talking surface level stuff yet. And I think that's what I'm talking to. The more that purification happens, the more you feel what's truly there. I feel like that beautiful love energy, that beautiful peace, that beautiful peace of mind, peace of spirit, which I was feeling, it almost felt like that is our natural state. In other words, you experiencing beauty through subtraction as opposed to addition. And that is genuinely such a beautiful thing, in my own opinion. It's been a really beautiful experience. And I've just felt my heart energy expand. I can almost... Obviously, if you in tune enough with your own energy, you can already see your aura, you can see your energy, but I've just seen a lot more expansion in that respect, in the sense I'm feeling a lot more love, I'm feeling a lot more joy, a lot more peace of mind. And as I say, there are different ways to experience that. This is what I'm trying to get to. It's a pure experience. A good example, right? You go have 4 coffees. To some degree, you're going to feel some synthetic joy from that dopamine hit, but this has felt a lot more deep and a lot more natural and a lot more centered. And yeah, so I guess that on the spiritual side, that's been a massive factor. If you're just looking to step into your heart and live from your heart, from that perception, the true side from your heart, and I'm going to put this in, it's an experience, and that's why I urge you, even if what I'm saying is not making sense, explore it for yourself, because words are limiting. I'm trying to put in words an experience, but the experience itself is the truth. And that's why if you're on the fence, you don't even if you've watched up to the video this far, you're on the fence, just try it for yourself, because the experience I'm talking about can't put it into words. It's stepping into the being of who you are, and I don't actually think humans were meant to eat as much as we are. I think it's very unnatural. It's very, very unnatural. So that's definitely a major factor, just how it allows you to step back into the peace that you are, basically. It's going to allow you to step into the peace that you are. On the physical side, and I'll probably make another video to probably go through these one by one, because as I'm even saying them, I'm realizing there's so much more I haven't dissected, but I just want to give you almost a taster. If you're on the fence and you're not sure if you want to fast, that's basically what this video is all about. On the physical side, it has been monumental, literally monumental. I have had nasal issues for my whole life. I've not been able to smell much. Historically, I haven't even been able to breathe through my nose. So like when I was sleeping, I'm a pure mouth breather. Well, I was a pure mouth breather before I started fasting. Fasting cleared that all up. For the first time in my life, I'm able to smell things. I'm able to breathe through my nose, which I tried everything. I tried supplements, nasal sprays, just about everything. Nothing helped it. Fasting cleared all of that up. I also had a stomach operation 5 years ago. I'd always get stomach pain. I would normally, even if I ate something which was, fibrous like vegetables, I would get all this pain in my stomach. It cleared all of that up. Literally, my gut feels so amazing now. And the beautiful thing with that is it also sensitizes you to things you shouldn't be eating. So the same goes for, if I go eat a hamburger now, my body's going to reject that. I can't eat hamburgers, I can't eat milkshakes. Like, I mean, obviously I can if I want to, but because it regulates your blood sugar and it cleans your digestive system up so nicely, your body, it basically resets your body's ability, your poison senses. It basically reactivates your poison senses. So you go eat a huge meal now, and something which you maybe ate, let's say you loved milkshakes, and before you started fasting, you used to have a milkshake every day. You go do that post having done a fast, your body's not going to accept it. Your body's going to actually say, no, I don't want this. And it's going to do that in many ways. You might crash, you might feel stomach cramps. Your body's just going to identify it for what it is. It's poison. So it's a phenomenal thing how it resensitizes your body to what you're putting it in. Another thing it taught me was like, I can actually feel the energy in the food now. So like if I go have a blueberry smoothie or something like that, I can literally feel the energy that food's giving me. And at the same time, when I go eat a huge junk meal, I feel the energy it's taking away. So it's a beautiful thing because it naturally aligns you to what you should be doing. So yeah, and another thing I'm also going to say, which I just remembered on the spiritual side, is maybe finish the physical side first, actually. So yeah, look, on the physical side, joint pain, it just clears everything up. My fascia, so I started getting pretty much a lot of my body tension started easing. I can feel my nervous system has reset. However, as I said at the beginning, it does often bring up a lot of tension, a lot of the nervous system activation as it's cleansing. So the cleansing is happening at every level. It's mental, physical, and spiritual. So I just want to make that clear. A lot of people, when they experience discomfort during fasting, particularly in those areas, they think they're doing something wrong. I think it's a necessary part of the process. I literally think that is what the purification process is, and each person's experience is different. So if you're doing the fasting, you're feeling the discomfort, you're feeling the heaviness, I would just say it could be part of the detox process. Go as quick and slow as you need to make it work for you. I had to take a break. When I first started fasting, I had to take some breaks in between because it was activating my nervous system a bit too much. So as I say, each person's experience is going to be different. Listen to your body, rely on the divine discernment which dwells in your heart as you're going through this process. It's not linear. And then just going back to the spiritual emotional side, it deepened my meditation so much. I connected so much more with the energy within me to a level I didn't really think was possible, and a lot of the times it was beautiful, but how can I explain this? It gives you deeper access to your subconscious. So whilst I had some really beautiful, deep, peaceful experiences, I also got to clean up the things I wasn't facing. I got to shine the light of my awareness to the deeper parts within me which hadn't been seen, and it was a gift because it allowed it to come up so I could alchemize that. So it's really going to give you access to your subconscious mind at a deeper level. Everything you've suppressed, everything And that can come up in many ways. It can come up emotionally, it can come up somatically. I had a lot of somatic stuff come up. So, a lot of tightness in my body came up, which it may have always been there. This is what makes it interesting. I can't say if it's been there or if it hasn't been there, but it made me aware of that. And to me, it felt like it magnified it so that I could sit with it and really just alchemize it. And it made me realize how integrated our fascia is to everything. Because as you're fasting, you actually start healing your fascia. And I'm not going to go too much into fascia. I'll need another video for that. But your fascia is basically a second neuron system. A lot of your energy is working through there. So even like when you're feeling anxiety or you're feeling unsafe or fear, a lot of the times it's linked to your fascia. Fasting actually clears up that fascia. And as it's healing the fascia, you can actually feel it in your body. It can feel confronting, but that's how the healing process happens. So it's really allowed me to purify at a deeper level, but I'm not going to focus too much on the alchemy and confronting stuff. It's also just given me so much beautiful things, because what's been so good is I've almost seen it as redemption, in the sense that although it does bring that stuff up, once you have worked through it, once you've sat through it, and you've just allowed the power of your love, the power of your awareness to just watch that and move through, you get so much back. You start seeing things the way they are. It strips away every mask. It strips away every mask and it brings you back to your true nature. It really does. It starts stripping away all the masks and it starts allowing you to just feel that joy, that childlike joy again. Like, I don't know about you, but I think it's because I've done matrixy jobs like for a very long time. You almost like at a subconscious level develop this persona, like, oh, I'm a serious businessman, and it just allowed me to access those natural childlike states again, shall we say, in the sense you don't take things as seriously. It's helping you see the truth. This is a temporary experience, temporary plane, temporary people. It points you back to the eternal energy within, and feeling that at a more visceral, intense level is a beautiful experience, which is why I would encourage everyone to persist, because I think we call to return home, and we already all are home, but it's just a beautiful way to remember more consistently. It's a beautiful way to remember more consistently. And yeah, so I mean, as I say, I should probably make more videos on this, and I'll probably do one on emotional, one on spiritual, one on physical. But if you only take one thing away from this video, if there's something in your heart calling you to do fasting, you should probably explore that within your own heart. Ask, for God's divine guidance to show you the best way for that to manifest in your life. And just follow it, because the deep connection it gives you, nothing else can give you a deeper connection than stepping back into the truth that you are. And I haven't experienced a better tool in this. And I've done everything. I mean, I've done meditation, I've done Qigong, I've done subconscious programming. And this is what I point to. It's taught me maybe sometimes it's better to just do less. Like, so stuck in this improvement that subtracting could be addition, So last thing I'll say is, if you ever want to supercharge this, if you are doing a fast, coupling this with Qigong, meditation. I often meditate anywhere between 2 to 3.5 hours. You don't have to do that long, but really just coupling it with any form of meditation. If you guided to look into Qigong, I do Spring Forest Qigong. If you guided to look into that actually also makes the fast a lot easier, because it teaches you how we also get energy through our breath, and how everything is energy, really. Because like when you're meditating and you're doing a very long meditation and you're fasting, oftentimes you're not going to feel hungry, because you're actually getting nourishment from the breath, the energy of the breath. That goes pretty deep, but the reason I recommend you to do Qigong, meditation, any type of energy cultivation work, is because number one, it's going to allow you to alchemize whatever comes up more easily, but it also teaches you the many different forms of energy. We're multi-dimensional beings. If you think that we can only get energy from food, you're completely limiting your own capabilities and your own truth of your divine being. You know, end of the day, you can survive. And I'm not going to, as I say, I don't want to demonize food, but end of the day, you can only survive a few minutes without your breath. You can survive pretty damn long without food. So that's my message. If you want to really feel the depth, I guess what I'm trying to communicate here is it basically opens your eyes up to the truth of energy that you are. Everything is energy. Yes, food is one energy source, but if you can go so long without food, then my question is, what are the other forms of energy? And fasting teaches you that, particularly when you're coupling that with meditation. You're doing Qigong. When I personally have done Qigong, a good example is like when I do Qigong and I go do some grounding on the days I fasted, I literally feel more energized than I've just had a meal, because I'm literally drawing energy in from nature. I'm drawing energy in from my breath. It teaches you how connected things truly are. But then again, like if you're just listening to this, I understand how woo-woo it can sound. I understand how it just sounds like noise. And that's why I say explore it for yourself in your own way. I didn't even start off with 36 hours. I started off very light. I started with intermittent fasting. I did 16/8, and then I did a day, and then I just slept 8 hours on each side of the fast, which made it easier. But just follow your heart on it. If you're on the fence about fasting, just explore it in your own way, in your own time, in your own space. And I put money on it. You persist hard enough through it, it's going to give a lot more than it takes. And I wish you all the best. If you have watched this long, I just wish you the divine love, peace, and joy of the heart to just immerse every layer of your experience. And have an always good day or night, I guess.